Here's the thing. The A7 V is supposed to carry forward the legacy of the A7 IV, one of Sony's best-selling hybrid cameras ever. But with Nikon and Canon stepping up their game, and Sony's own product lineup becoming, well, a little overcrowded, the question is, can Sony actually pull this off without confusing or disappointing its loyal base? So let's start with what we think we know. The Sony A7 V, or A75 as some sources call it, has been quietly building hype for months. Sony will officially announce it on the 2nd of December 2025, with shipments expected to start in the first quarter of 2026. The timing aligns perfectly with Sony's pattern of releasing a new A7 series camera roughly every 3 to 4 years. But here's where things start to get messy. A few weeks ago, a well-known Sony artisan posted some supposed specs online, and then quickly deleted them. According to that post, the A7 V would feature a 40-megapixel sensor, 15 frames per second, continuous shooting, and Sony's AI processor borrowed from the flagship A12. On paper, that sounds good, but here's the twist. Newer leaks suggest something entirely different. A 33-megapixel sensor, the same resolution as the A7 IV. That instantly triggered a storm of confusion in the community. Is Sony playing it safe? Is this another parts bin refresh, or are they deliberately keeping things under wraps to surprise everyone at launch? Even the pricing leaks add to the uncertainty. The camera is rumored to sit around $2,999, putting it dangerously close to Canon's R6 Mark II and Nikon's Z6 II, both strong contenders that already offer partially stacked sensors and uncropped 4K recording. And speaking of that, the sensor type is the biggest question mark of them all. Sony shooters are expecting at least a partially stacked sensor, something faster than the A7 IV's slower readout, because that's now standard in the $3,000 price segment. If Sony skips that, it could instantly make the A7 V feel outdated at launch. Even some insiders have hinted that Sony might be delaying or reshuffling their release strategy because of internal competition, especially between the A7 V, A7S line, and FX series. If that's true, it could explain why leaks have been so inconsistent. So yes, the A7 V is coming, but how it's coming and what it's bringing are two very different stories right now. Now let's talk about what photographers and filmmakers actually want from the A7 V, because this is where Sony needs to listen carefully. The A7 IV was a fantastic all-rounder, great for hybrid shooters, solid for travel and weddings, and capable of professional work. But it wasn't perfect. The two major complaints? 1. Cropped 4K 60. That Super 35 crop was a deal breaker for many video creators who expected full-frame 4K 60 at that price. Sony's rivals, Nikon's Z6 III and Canon's R6 II, already offer full-width 4K recording. It's time Sony fixes that. 2. Slow sensor readout. Rolling shutter was another big issue. Even though Sony's color science and autofocus performance were excellent, that sluggish readout limited how flexible the camera could be for sports, wildlife, or fast-paced content. So if Sony wants the A7 V to truly shine, a faster readout is essential. That not only improves stills performance and electronic shutter usability, but also unlocks better video capabilities, like 6K oversampling, 4K 120, and possibly even internal RAW recording. Many creators also hope Sony integrates 32-bit float audio and open-gate video recording, features that would position the A7 V as a legitimate hybrid powerhouse, not just a mild refresh. Then there's the autofocus system, which is almost guaranteed to see a major leap. The dedicated AI processor we saw in the A7 R5 and A12 could finally bring human pose estimation and better subject tracking across people, animals, and vehicles. This could make the A7 V one of the most reliable autofocus systems in its class. especially if Sony enhances its consistency during complex scenes like weddings or live events where subjects move erratically. And let's not forget ergonomics. A lot of users want the A7V to adopt the A7R 5-style body. With the fully articulating tilt flip screen, improved heat dissipation, and sturdier build quality. Some even want the deeper grip design of the A9 III, though leaks suggest Sony might stick to the familiar A7 IV body. If Sony checks these boxes, full-frame 4K 60, fast readout, next-gen autofocus, better IBIS, and refined usability, then the A7V would be a dream camera for most hybrid shooters. But if it doesn't, things could get complicated. So when exactly are we seeing this thing? As Sony officially teased, it's going to be the 2nd of December. Now, here's the kicker. Sony recently slashed the price of the A7 IV by a whopping $700, bringing it down to $1,999. That's the lowest price we've seen yet. Now, in the camera world, that usually means one thing: inventory clearance. Sony's clearing the shelves for something new. But it's also possible that Sony is holding back the A7V's full reveal until after the holiday season, using that price drop to keep A7 IV sales strong while building up stock of the new model. This would explain why some sources expect an announcement teaser this year, but shipping in early 2026. Meanwhile, Sony is also rumored to announce several new lenses alongside it, including a 100 to 400mm f4GM, a 100 to 400mm G variable aperture lens, and a new 20mm f/2GM ultra-wide zoom. If true, Sony might be positioning the A7 V launch as part of a broader alpha ecosystem refresh, rather than just one camera release. Still, the timing here is delicate. If Sony waits too long, especially as Nikon's Z7 III and Canon's R6 Mark III are gaining attention, the A7 V could risk losing its momentum before it even ships. At this point, the Sony A7 V feels like a camera caught in transition. Between generations, between expectations, and between Sony's own priorities. The truth is, the competition isn't sleeping. Nikon has found its rhythm again with the SoA7 II and ZR, Canon's R6 II. I is expected to push the bar higher, and even Panasonic is regaining ground with the S5 II series. In that context, Sony can't afford to play it safe anymore. The A7 series has always been about balance, performance, price, and versatility. But in 2025, balance isn't enough. Creators want bold. They want a camera that feels future-proof for the next 5 years, not one that plays catch-up from day one. So, here's the big question. If the A7 V ships with the same 33-megapixel sensor, cropped 4K, and no major readout improvement, will it still stand out in a market full of faster, cheaper, and more innovative options? Or will Sony surprise us all with a camera that redefines what a mid-tier full-frame can do? Whatever happens, the A7 V isn't just another launch. It's a statement. And Sony's next move will tell us whether they're ready to lead again, or let someone else take the spotlight. So, what do you think? Would you still upgrade to the Sony A7 V if it sticks to a 33-megapixel sensor and a $3,000 price tag? Or are you ready to jump ship to Nikon or Canon if Sony plays it safe again? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you love deep dives like this one, make sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.